So the question then becomes, how should I do yoga? Because nowadays, 10 years ago, yoga was limited to classes because there wasn't really an internet where you could find this YouTube video on or that class. But so you'd go to a class and you'd spend an hour or an hour and a half. Any of you done Bikram yoga? The really, really hot yoga? Have you? Do you like it?
Yeah.
What was your experience with it?
I took a yoga class in high school, and so we all took a field trip there.
You just went one time?
So I've only done it once, but yeah, there's these specific poses that you do with the heat. It's 100 degrees.
105 degrees.
I think they said ours to 102 because it's much high school.
It was just too hot.
Yeah.
So it's deliberately 105 degrees. And has anyone else done Bikram yoga? Have you done it? You have? Did you like it?
I liked it.
Did you? Did you like it?
I loved it.
I did it a few times, and singularly the most flexible I've ever been. It's 26 poses, and but the point I want to make here is, if you go to a Bikram yoga, okay, you go there and it's 26 poses with a rest period of, like, is it 30 seconds or 60 or 90 seconds in between each pose. It's been a long time since I've done it. And then you do another pose, and it's deliberately 105 degrees, with the idea being that that's how, when they started doing yoga 3 or 4 or 5,000, that's how hot it was in India when they would do yoga. So they're trying to kind of mimic that. Singularly the most flexible I've ever been. I was doing things with my body I've never done before after a session of yoga, of Bikram yoga, hot yoga. Now, if you go to the Bikram yoga class, or if you go online, they will say, ours is the pure yoga. Ours is the only yoga that's true. And that just drives me bananas. Really? And then you have people who are, and I'm not being critical of any of them, but nobody really, this is something that we as humans have made up, experimented with, and for somebody to say, well, my yoga is the best yoga. That's like saying my air is the best air to breathe, when you're in this mountain and somebody else is in a different mountain and they're saying, no, my air is best to breathe. There's not a best yoga. And you don't have to go to, the thing that I have noticed over the 30 years now? The thing that I have noticed is, one, we take yoga way too seriously. Oh, I've got to do it this pose, and it has to be just like this, or else you're not aligning your chakras and your meridians are out. You've got to do it. Just shut up. Just try stuff and watch what happens. The only thing is, there are some poses that you could get hurt if you do it poorly. No question. So you have to be careful with. I remember there was one pose that I was trying for a while, and suddenly I noticed my knees just started hurting. It was getting worse. And it was just kind of gradually, amongst other things, and I thought, what is it that suddenly my knees hurt? And I realized it was that one pose that was kind of I was doing this, like this, and then going down on it, and my knees don't like that one, apparently. The feedback was, don't do this one anymore. And as soon as I stopped, pain in my knees went away. But you don't have to go to classes. You don't have to, there's not a right or a true yoga, regardless of what the Bikram folks will say, or the people who get trained and become yoga instructors, and I can't tell you how many of them have said, well, ours is the right one. Ours is the pure one. Ours is the I don't buy that for a second. You just do stuff, and what I'm inviting you guys to do is just find out what a few poses are that work for you, and just incorporate those every single day or every so often at your house while you're watching your favorite TV show. And you can make it that enjoyable and that unserious, because we take yoga way too seriously, I think.